It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's not fine.
It's nothing, okay?
This is how I got COVID the first
Welcome
time.
back to the cousin.
Nah. The Trader podcast.
Why are you clipping the mic out here?
Because I got hyped.
And you told me to turn up the gain.
No. Keep it up. Why'd you turn it down?
Because you just clipped the mic.
But now look how quiet my voice is.
Yeah, because you literally just made your voice quieter.
No, I didn't.
Okay, shut up. What are you talking about? Okay? We also found out yesterday that I don't know how to whisper.
You just yesterday?
Okay, whatever. Like it was apparent that like even when I was trying to not whisper, or when I was trying to whisper, I couldn't whisper.
Let me tell you guys a story while Amir drinks his coffee, okay? Welcome back to the podcast, guys. It's great to see you. Hope you're all having a great week so far. As kids, it was known that Amir struggled in the whispering department. And when I
Especially
say he struggled,
when it really mattered.
Like we would be somewhere and Amir maybe wouldn't recognize somebody, and like normally you would like, tell your other cousins, you'd be like, yo, like who's that? You'd whisper, ASMR action, okay? Mm-hmm. You'd like whisper it so that only the person next to you could hear. But you know what Amir would do? Hey guys, who's that?
Oh my God, what was that voice? Like some gremlin voice.
That came out wrong.
Yeah. That was the worst whisper I've ever heard.
That literally sounds like a horror. Like
yeah, that sounded like the snake from Harry Potter when you're speaking the snake language. Yeah, remember how Harry Potter speak to the snake in that language?
Secret talent.
Yeah, what was it called again? That language? It was called.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Shoot! Oh my God! I don't
even know.
All the Harry Potter nerds out there are gonna hate me for this.
I don't even know what to Google.
What was the language that Harry Potter spoke to snakes? It was a snake language, or like shoot. I should know this.
Hold on.
Slither tongue. Slither tongue? Silver tongue? Slither tongue. It had something tongue in the name. Oh my God.
It's parcel tongue.
Parcel tongue. I got the first one. Okay. I got the second word. I
literally never have heard of that.
You watched Harry Potter, didn't you?
I watched every single one, but I've never heard of parcel tongue before.
You know what? How do you guys don't pay attention. Also, they don't pay attention to movies. Like yesterday, I found out. Okay, I also found out how uncultured they are. None of them knew what the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once was.
I've heard of it.
Did you hear about it?
Because I have Prime.
You heard from me.
No, I have Prime.
Oh, okay, so you saw it on there.
Yeah. And I think it was like on my watch list. I just forgot about it.
Well, clearly you guys weren't interested because, like, okay, no, shut up. Wait. Okay, I put on the movie and like a lot of stuff, like there's a lot of plot going on, like stuff you have to pay attention to understand what's going on. When I look over, all I see is these girls on their phones, just like tapping away.
First of all,
yes.
in my defense,
what?
Okay, I thought you put on the movie as background noise because we were about to start playing games. Because we were starting to play games.
You were eating.
Was that when we were eating?
Yeah. We started eating and then we were waiting for like a couple of people. So we're like, you know what? Let's watch a movie in the meantime. Or at least I kind of just put it on you guys.
You were watching something else when I came over. You were watching some other random show.
Yeah, we were watching like Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like that was more of just like Nabat showing us what it was. Like I already watched like the first 7 episodes, but she was showing it to everyone else because like apparently it did get a lot of awards and like it was like a real breakout show, especially for a Canadian show.
Hasn't it been out for a while? They just now started winning awards?
Well, it became big because it went on to Netflix. Like if it was a Canadian show to begin with, so it was only showing in Canadian television channels, but like Canada has such a small population alone, like it's hard to get a big audience in Canada for even a good show. Mm-hmm. So once they put it on Netflix, that's when other people found out about it and it like just blew up from there. And they started winning awards everywhere for it. Cuz it is a funny show.
I watched it.
Yeah, like it's not like everybody's humor. Yeah. But it does have a very like not Office vibe. I was about to say it has a very Office vibe.
No.
Yeah, you know what show you do have to watch?
What?
Abbott Elementary. Abbott Elementary is basically like the Office with black people.
What's that on?
I don't know. I just bootleg it, man. Oh no, sorry. No, I don't bootleg it. Okay, because we don't do that. That's a crime. I go on Disney Plus.
That's a bold-faced lie.
I go on Disney Plus where I legally partake in watching the show over there.
If you fully have a Disney Plus account.
Yeah, that's where I watch it. I just told you I don't illegally watch anything. I don't illegally download anything. That's a crime. I watch it on Disney Plus.
That's a lie, but okay.
I swear to God, why would I?
What's popcorn time then?
I don't know what popcorn time is.
Oh,
what are you talking about? Yeah, I never heard about that. Okay. But I watch it on Disney Plus.
Okay.
I'm not joking. Okay, I actually do watch it on Disney Plus.
Okay, but you know what Popcorn Time is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You literally told me about it.
I don't. I plead the fifth.
You have the worst poker face in the world. If
they're listening, they can't hear it. Okay.
If we were ever accused of a crime,
yeah.
My only ask
no,
of you...
No. I feel like I would be like...
No. If we were ever accused...
Yeah.
Like partners in crime, like truly we did something wrong.
Yeah.
My only ask is just don't say anything. Just zone out. Just go somewhere else.
I'm a pretty good... Like, I have a pretty good poker face when it matters, okay? This is just a regular conversation.
That is not true.
Yeah. And I'm pretty good... I was about to say I'm a pretty good liar, but I'm not.
No, you're not.
I suck at lying. What are you talking about?
You are the worst liar, first of all.
What?
Okay, and this ties into...
No, I just make y'all think I'm a really bad liar.
No, you actually are, though.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And?
No, but isn't that like the ultimate thing where like you're such a good liar that like you make people think that you're a bad liar so that it further like helps your case when you
I
actually
know what
are
you're
lying.
Trying to do. You're trying to use reverse psychology on me, but I'm the queen of reverse psychology.
Okay. At the end, you know what? At the end of the day, it just makes me a really bad liar. It means that I'm a very truthful person because, you know...
I too am a bad liar because I'm a truthful person. Like it's not even that I'm bad at lying.
Mm-hmm.
I just forget the lie. Like I've tried it before. I've been like, oh yeah, I was sick. Then I come back to whatever it was. Oh, how are you feeling? I'm like, fine. Why?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh right.
Oh,
supposed to be sick.
Caught in a lie.
Exactly. So
that's why I've never taken a sick day because I just can't lie about it because I'm such a good person.
No, I mean you don't have to always don't just take a personal day.
I've never taken a personal day. Have you ever taken a personal day?
Like
I don't think so.
Well, we have they're called personal days. So you don't have to say, "Oh, I'm not feeling the best." You can just
you don't have to say that anyways. Okay, if you're sick too.
No, you just tell them that you're sick.
You can tell them you're sick, but they don't have to ask. They can't ask further legally in Ontario.
Oh yeah, no, we don't. Like okay, so
yeah.
Where I work, like when people tell us that they're sick, they just send us an email in the morning, and we say, "Okay, thanks for letting us know. Feel better. See you tomorrow. See you in the whatever day that you come back." That's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, we never ask details. I think they only ask if you're gone for like an extended period of time.
It depends on how big your office is too.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! I told by the end of this episode I'm gonna spill this coffee.
My heart just stopped because it looked like it was about to spill, and then we would have
go right up on the system too.
Would it break? If just a little drop.
Nah. Actually, yeah, because it has like sugar and stuff in it too.
Oh.
Yeah. By the way, I think I scared a girl out of the gym the other day.
Also, you didn't contribute to the positive and healthy gym culture?
No. I was doing that. And like, okay, just to tell you a story, whatever. So I was in the gym. It was a busy day. A lot of people in there. And I was trying to do like, do you know chest flies or pec flies? Yeah, and the cable ones were taken up. Usually I'll go to those ones. But then, like, you know, I'll go to the machines. There's like 3 of those. So I went to the pec fly area. Even those were all taken up. So I sat down across from it waiting. And first off, okay, I know how awkward it is. I sat down. Like, there's basically like the aisle in the middle. On one side, there's a pec fly machine. On the other side, there's a chest press machine. I sat down on the chest press machine facing the cable flies, just waiting for this girl to finish.
Did you sit with your arms crossed?
No. I just sat there, like, not trying to look at her.
Oh.
Like, in a way to make it look like I'm waiting for it. Because, you know, you don't want to be intimidating, right? And she looked kind of new, whatever. Okay, I'm not going to say she's looking at me. I'm not here to judge. But
you're absolutely judging. Okay, let's finish the story.
But, so, it looked like she was kind of, like, struggling a bit. Like, it looked like she didn't, like, her seat wasn't set up properly. She was, like, moving in a way where she looked like she was struggling and, like, could eventually lead to, like, injury. So, like, you know, I did the... How would you feel someone did? I got up and I was like, hey, it looks like you might need some tips here or whatever. At first she thought, I think she had headphones in. At first she thought I was saying, how many sets do you have left? It's like, I have one more thing. And then she like tried to go back to it. I was like, oh, no. I mean like, I can help you do this better. All you have to do is put your seat up or whatever. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she like put up her seat and she like sat back down and she did her one more set. Okay, this is where it could look kind of weird. I still sat across from her, and I was looking at her, like, making that face where you're, like, agreeing, like, oh, that's good, but, like, eyes wide open.
Why would you do that?
So maybe that just kind of threw her off. And then as she finished her set, She's like, okay, you can take it now. And then I got up. I was like, oh, thank you. You know, if you ever need anything else, just let me know, that kind of thing. And she walked away. And I started using machine. Why do I see this girl put on all her clothes and walk out of the gym immediately after that?
Maybe she was done.
But like, I for some reason, I thought like, oh, shoot, I scared this girl away. Like, she literally got up, put on all the stuff she had. She had like a jacket and stuff on the side and walked out immediately after that. And for some reason, in my brain, I was like, I scared her away. I don't know what I did wrong here, but apparently, like, you can't even.
No, I think maybe she's just never been helped before, so you probably caught her off guard. But then, like, the fact that you kind of just sat there and you're like,
yeah, it was like, I just realized after,
did you give her a thumbs
fact,
up?
Huh?
Did you give her a thumbs up?
No, I didn't do the thumbs up.
So you just sat there like this?
Not like the whole time, okay? Like,
that's a little creepy.
At the end, I was like, okay, this is kind of creepy. So I'm sorry to whoever that was, but like, you would probably want someone to, if you were using machine and you didn't know how to use it, wouldn't you want someone with more experience, like coming out and telling you how to use it properly?
Yeah, but I think it just depends on how you, like, if you just come out, like literally just walk up to her like, hey, you're using that wrong.
I didn't say that.
Oh.
Yeah.
But if you're like, oh, hey, like, actually, you know, if you make your chair like this, you'll actually have a better set.
Yeah, like the exact thing I probably said, now that I'm remembering it, is like, I literally just walked up and said, hey, if you just put up the seat a little bit higher, you can get like a better angle, so you're actually working your chest instead of your shoulders and it may cause injury or whatever like that, like something like that. I
don't think there's anything wrong.
That's
with that.
fine, right?
Maybe she's just like has social anxiety or something.
Yeah.
Like and she had headphones on, right?
I think she had earphones in.
Okay, maybe she like didn't want to talk to anyone, just wanted to do her set and then leave. Then you spoke to her and she was probably like, damn it.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll fix the chair because he's watching me.
Know,
and then
I'm gonna just do for guys for now. I just feel awkward.
No, I think it's fine. Like I've seen like on gym TikTok or gym talk, whatever the hell it's called, like girls and guys talk about how to approach. You're hot?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Keep going. Why you?
Because I can't feel my toes already, so now I'm really gonna freeze.
Really?
Yeah, I'm cold. It's okay. I'll tell you when I'm freezing.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, like I've seen videos where they give tips on like how to approach people at the gym, not to like pick them up, but like to offer support and help on how to use things. I think that your approach was fine.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with it.
Sitting across from her?
Yeah, it was the only thing that made me think about it longer was the fact that she left immediately. I was like, okay.
She could have just
she could have just been finished after that.
Yeah. It just,
but would she?
Poor
was she though?
I think if she left and like kind of gave you a dirty look while walking out, you absolutely pissed her off and scared her.
No.
Yeah, if she walked out while giving you a dirty look.
I mean, like it wasn't like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so then you're fine. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you see her again at the gym and she does one of these, like she does one of those, then you.
Then I know I've done something wrong. Yeah. But I want to go back. We were talking about the everything everywhere all at once, and then I also found out that these guys don't even know like basic like cultural. It's not not icons, but like cultural references that everyone should know.
Like what?
Like when I mentioned 1984.
It's not my fault that my school chose to not include that in our curriculum.
How have you never heard of 1984? Like people reference it so much, especially these days.
Who references it?
You don't know? Okay.
Like give me one example, because I honestly have never heard of it.
Have you heard of Big Brother?
Yeah.
Like not the show, but like.
No, I know.
But actually, I think the idea or the show Big Brother
is based on the 1984.
Is kind of based off of 1984 because, like, in 1984 they have like these TVs that can see and hear you at all times in your house or whatever. Yeah, basically it's like Big Brother, and like they tell you to do like exercise every once in a while. Like they tell you to do certain things, but like nowadays it's referenced a lot because, like, honestly, a lot of people who are referencing it are actually misinterpreting or misunderstanding the idea behind 1984.
Is it the 5G, like anti-5G people?
Yeah, like those type, like Trump supporters and like anti-5G.
Well, that's why
a lot of the conspiracy people are always saying like, oh, this is like very 1984ish, where like they're saying.
That's why then, because I don't listen to, like I literally don't have any content or listen to or pay attention to Trump supporters. Anything about conspiracy, like some conspiracy theories. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't talk.
But like it also like just to give an example of why or how they're misinterpreting it. Like 1984 is basically about like how capitalists have like taken over the world and are like controlling every aspect of these people's lives. There's also a few other things that come into it, but like the funny thing is that a lot of Trump supporters may mention this, or people who are into conspiracies, but like one aspect or one term that's used in 1984 is called doublethink, which is doublethink is basically like where you can be convinced of another reality. Like, let's say there's a fact, like you see something happens. There's a factually this thing happened. It's where someone can like say, no, this thing didn't happen this way, it happened in a different way, and like they skew reality in a way, and people are convinced that what actually happened didn't happen, and what they said happened is what actually happened. Does that make sense? It's really hard to explain. I'm not the best at explaining things like this. I'm still trying to get better at it.
I think I get.
But
you,
like
though.
essentially, instead of you thinking for yourself, like they're making you, they're telling you what to think. Yeah, and that's
they're influencing your
thought process, and they're taking it over completely, basically. Like an example.
Not wrong. I mean, that's not a lie.
Huh?
That's kind of happening.
Yeah. So, but to give you an example, like, I don't want to get political again because I know people hate it when we get political. But like, let's say Trump is the best example of this because he's actually, ironically, he's a capitalist who ended up becoming like the leader of America. So he came out with the term. He's the one who popularized the term fake news, right? And of course, there was a lot of times where the facts would be skewed and it would be presented in a different way. So you can kind of give it that term of fake news. But like, he's the one who popularized it. Because what he would do is he would basically say something, and then a few months later when people say like, oh, you said this, he's like, no, I didn't actually say this is what I said or whatever. And all the people who supported him wouldn't just go back when you could clearly just go back and look at what he actually said and realize that he's lying, but they would just take him at his word. So he was basically teaching his audience or his followers to perform doublethink in a way.
You know what that sounds like to me?
What?
Manipulation.
Well, yeah, that's what it is.
Like, it's straight up, like, it's gaslighting.
Yeah.
Like, if you tell me, okay, we actually had this conversation before.
Did we?
About your laptop.
What?
Remember about your laptop right before we started recording.
But I wasn't gaslighting. You literally didn't remember. Okay.
But we were, okay, maybe I was gaslighting you a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. You were the one gaslighting me. Exactly.
I actually wasn't, because I genuinely believed that you had a navy blue HP laptop that you've used here, that we used to record on.
You know what it was? You know what you're probably thinking of? There's a laptop like downstairs. We've never used it, but it's just been sitting there.
Is it navy blue?
It's navy blue, but we've never used it. So I don't know like how your mind connected that.
Like
maybe you saw it at the corner of your eye at some point.
I'm envisioning it. Like I literally could see it in my memory. That's why I'm like, this has to be new. I've never seen this here.
I still can't believe you don't think that this is a laptop we've been using. Guys, just to give you context, I've been using the same laptop to record everything for like since we've started recording. I didn't
even know you had a ThinkPad.
It's always been a ThinkPad.
No, I swear, Amir. Like I wish I was making. I'm not even trying to be funny.
Mm-hmm. I think I had a Dell a while
That's
ago,
what it is.
But it wasn't navy blue.
What color was it? Black.
It was the exact same. It looked exactly like this.
But it was your work computer.
It was black. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. Whatever. It's not navy blue. It's black. Same thing.
But it looked exactly the same.
But it's a Dell, not a Lenovo.
Yeah.
That's what it was. You just got this recently,
No,
right?
I've had this, but that's the thing. I've been using this. I can literally show you from the save files. It goes back like 40 episodes.
What?
Or like 30 episodes or whatever. It goes back a while.
I could almost say the W word.
No.
Today's my first day ever noticing.
Oh my God. See, guys? This is why I do the editing.
What do you mean?
And the thumbnails and everything. Because this girl can't even remember which laptop we've been using.
I'm blown away. Truly blown away.
Shoot, now I forget what I was saying.
We were talking about...
how the 1984 and all. But yeah, I don't know.
The doublethink piece.
Yeah. Okay, I got through that. But it was just crazy how in a time where this book is probably the most relevant, that like there's still people who have never heard of it.
Yeah, I never.
And that's kind of concerning because like, you know how they say like learn from your history, or like
history repeats itself, you mean?
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Like learn from your history so you don't repeat it, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so though this isn't technically our history, I feel like it was a good warning, or like it's something to be aware of. And in 1984 is kind of something that kind of, the book itself is almost felt like it was a warning of how things could turn out if we don't
when did that book come out?
Pay attention. I actually don't know. 1984?
George Orwell, right?
Yeah, George Orwell.
Whoa.
What?
1949.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that kind of makes sense then.
Wow.
Because he was probably thinking of the future at his time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
But why 1984? Like, that's such a specific year.
That's like when people used to make books of like the 2000s.
Yeah, but it would just be like the whole like just the 2000s. They wouldn't be like 2013. Like,
Yeah,
so
'cause it's like
random.
it sticks out in your mind, right? Like 1980. If it was just like 2000, it could fall in line with like a bunch of other things I mentioned 2000. But 1984 is so specific that it like maybe catches your eye. And the name of the book is 1984. So, or there was probably some significance to him for that.
Can we continue our conversation?
What?
Okay, basically that's what we were talking about. Amir was saying, like, if
Mhm.
you quit your day job and you
Mhm.
fully devoted like your free time, well, all of your time really,
Yeah.
to this channel, that it would like grow exponentially.
Yeah.
So then I was thinking, like, my thought process to that was like, okay, if we both quit our jobs and we just like put in all of our time into this podcast and it grew, I feel like it
It
would.
wouldn't be the podcast though.
Okay, the channel,
Mhm.
the whole
Yeah.
whatever, the Cousin Connection brand. I feel like it would then move away from something that we started strictly because we enjoyed it to
Mhm.
now just being another job. Like, it's just another, we're doing it because we want to make money, and that's what we're doing with our day jobs. Like, you may enjoy it here and there, but like ultimately what keeps us going, waking up in the morning and going to work every day, is you get a paycheck. Like, if we really simplify it. I think people who say like, oh, I love what I do every single day and it's no longer work for me, that's a bold-faced lie. Because let's be real, if we all had the option of just like, if money was not a thing,
Mhm.
like if it wasn't an actual concept where we had to work to make money, I don't think people would be working.
No, it depends on who you are.
And
Like,
what do you mean?
a good example is recently, do you know Mr. Beast? I've mentioned him before. He had a podcast recently with Lex Friedman, who's another podcaster. He's also a computer scientist. He works at MIT.
Wow.
He does a lot with like technology in general. He had him on the podcast, and a lot of it was about like what drives him. And
Mr.
like,
Beast?
yeah, Mr.
Oh.
Beast. And he said like, even if I wasn't, even like he for him it's not about the money, because literally, and he's proven that by reinvesting literally everything he makes into his channel.
I
For
think he's
him,
an exception to the rule.
yeah, but that's why I would say like there's always going to be people out there who find their love is like building something and putting together something. Like he said himself, he loves building companies and like growing them and like finding ways to grow them not exponentially, but like over year. So that's what he loves to do, which is why he's invested so much into his channel, because he just loves seeing that number go up and up. And for him, he said it's not about the numbers, but it's just the fact he likes seeing it overall grow. So there are always going to be people like that who are just driven to be entrepreneurs.
No, yeah, I'm not talking about that aspect of it,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like for example, let's just use like someone who starts YouTube for whatever, their channel could be about anything.
Yeah.
They start their channel and let's say they started it back in the early 2000s or the late 2000s, before the 2010s. They started it strictly because they enjoyed it. Your game channel that you had.
Mm-hmm.
You just did it because you watch that kind of content, so you're like, oh, I could do this.
Yeah.
I play games. Why not, right? And you started it for fun.
Yeah.
But then you start to make a little, like, not you specifically, but let's say like then the person starts to make a little bit of money and they're like, oh, I can get paid for this? Okay, let me continue to go. It's still fun and now you're getting paid, so it's all exciting and you're like, oh, I'm making money. And then it's like now you have, for example, like different companies reaching out to you to do brand deals. And then they have you on a timeline because you have to deliver the products or the content in a certain time frame. And then it's like when you have 1, 2, 3, it's exciting until you start to hit your like 50th brand deal. And now it's just another job. Like, it's literally just another job.
Well, the thing is that the people that I follow that have lasted the longest have always put their love for making the content before all of that. Like they will purposely make less money to be able to continue to love what they're doing. So like they don't want, if they feel like they're being constrained to all of these deals, they'll stop taking the deals and continue doing, because no matter what, you're still going to get money from your views and all that kind of stuff. So, and also there are people who just love the process of it too. Like I love editing and like making things in general.
Yeah.
So if you love the process in itself, then whether you make money or not, you're still going to do it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's like for example, the way that I'm like thinking about it is like, even when I think about our channel and the potential that it has,
Mm-hmm.
I always sit back and I'm like, okay, I don't ever want to like think of this channel and then like not resent it per se, but
Mm-hmm.
like I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, like I don't want it to feel like a chore.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely enjoy this whether we make money or not. Like if we never make money, I would still enjoy doing
Yeah.
this. If we do make money, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
Like type of thing, you know what I mean? And I think maybe we have this, like if you agree and you have that mentality too, it might be because we already have jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was like we were dependent on this, I think we would have a different drive and motivation, you think?
Yeah, but if I ever felt that way, I feel like I would find a way to get rid of that feeling. Like maybe start to diversify, like find other streams of income that can let me continue doing what I love while also
Like keep it as a hobby rather than a job.
yeah, and not have to worry about like if I stop this now, like I'm gonna lose everything.
Yeah.
Which is what a lot of YouTubers do, right? Like what they'll do is like give you an example of PewDiePie, because
Yeah.
I'm just giving examples of people that I personally follow all the time, right? So like he started a clothing brand with his wife, and he didn't make it off of he didn't make it like where it's his branding and everything. He made it so unique that like, or not
Is it
so unique.
Independent of his YouTube
Yeah,
brand?
he made it independent of his YouTube brand, and he actually made it good. Like he looked into the good quality. He got really good artists to like make the designs and everything like that. So that became successful on its own. So he doesn't have to. So if he like even his channel, if he stopped making YouTube videos, which he sort of did, like he's retired at this point. He even mentioned himself, like I'm retired. He still makes videos, but he does it out of the love. So he's an example of someone who still does YouTube videos, but he does it more out of the love, because he took that initial bump he got from YouTube and diversified his income so he can continue to do YouTube for the love of it.
So okay, because and I think if we were to ever follow a similar like an approach of someone, it would probably be that.
Yeah.
Because I also see, especially like on TikTok or whatever social media platform that people are on.
Yeah.
They'll start posting content, and they get traction, and they get a lot of followers and deals and deals after deals after deals, and then how many times have you seen this where people experience like severe burnout, and then they take a break because their mental health is now suffering because they were so hyper focused on pumping out content nonstop because their end goal was obviously the paycheck. Then they
I don't even think their end goal.
It wasn't at first. I think it shifts halfway.
It may not even be that. It might be like they're just caught up in the hype, or if that makes sense. Like where things just start like building up. You get a manager, and your manager starts telling you what to do, and you feel like you kind of have to do it, because then you get people who are dependent on you.
Yeah.
Because you start hiring other people, and you're like, if I stop, then they lose out on money too. So you feel like you're obligated to do this so that everybody else can eat as well. So
that's scary.
Of course, that's like when you're really big.
Yeah.
But things can, as you've seen these days, like on the internet, things can explode within months for certain people. Like you can go from making videos in your bedroom to running like a 10-person team. So within the span of months, literally, like I've seen this how many times happen now.
Yeah.
So, people can just get caught up in it, and they don't realize it until they're like 3 months later.
They experience the burnout, and they're like, I have to take a break. And like,
yeah,
you know, the fact that if you're in a position where you need to take a mental health break from your job and you can't because you're no longer you're not seen as a person anymore. You are a company.
Yeah.
You are an organization that has to keep going regardless of what happens in your life. That's a scary place to be in.
Yeah. And it takes a special kind of person to be able to be in all that and like still they thrive off of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I feel like Kevin Hart's like an example of that. Like Kevin Hart just loves working like that as well. Mr. Beast, like I mentioned. But of course you said there was special cases, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I could be like that. I don't know. I get obsessed with the process of things, as you know.
Yeah, but
like,
you're very type A, I feel like.
What is that again?
Like
I know you've mentioned this literally like 3-4 times.
I know I explain this to you every single time.
Yeah, I always forget.
It's like when you're very like very very particular
Yeah.
on how it's like I don't want to say OCD, but like you're just very particular in how things are, and it's like it has to be in a set way.
Yeah.
But I also feel like parts of your personality are also type B, where you're pretty like go with the flow. Like it's small parts, not all of it. Most of it is like very like, this is my road and I'm gonna go on this road only. Sometimes you allow for detours.
Yeah, you know, we're all multifaceted people, man.
But like for the most part, you want a straight and narrow path.
Yeah, like you guys always get sick of me because like I always get annoyed when people can't appreciate things, like even if it's different and it's not for them, like just appreciating, especially when it comes to art. I know I've mentioned this before, but like appreciating art for what it is and like what's been put into it, and like the care that's been putting into it. Like even if it's not for me, if I see that someone put care into
like effort, you mean,
and effort into this, like it's just for one shot in a movie, it could be a trash movie, but if they take care of like how they frame their shots and everything, I will appreciate it just for that.
But so do I.
Huh?
Like I wouldn't say that I have like a particular taste per se. Like I want to think that I'm open-minded, because you show me a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, and I sit there and
like
I watch.
Yesterday, I was like,
well, no, okay. I think the thing with that movie in particular was that you're right. It was a lot going on. Like there were like, it was like a what do you call that?
Multidimensional.
Yeah, multidimensional like universe type of or storyline, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it actually requires your full attention. Yeah. Because and it had subtitles. Like it was part of it was in a different language. Like if you look away for like 2 minutes, you miss a big like chunk of the story. Yeah. And I think had we actually set the atmosphere for like, guys, we're going to watch a movie, then I think everyone would have watched it for sure. But honestly, like it's on my watch list. Like I saw it and I was like, oh, this sounds interesting, and it's there. I just didn't expect to like when it's those types of complex idea movies.
I feel like it's a really good movie for like you and like you girls in general, because because it also deals with like the relationship between an immigrant mother and her daughter, who's like, her daughter is like very westernized, or at least like,
actually that's what got me in the description. Was I saw that, I was like, ooh,
oh yeah, exactly,
like I want to watch this with my mom.
Yeah, because at least that's from the reactions I've seen, like a lot of daughters who have like that weird relationship with their immigrant moms, where like they don't understand them because like they're dealing with two different cultures, one outside and one in the house, that kind of thing. So when you're dealing with that, I feel like that's, you guys really connect with that.
Yeah, but that's actually like what got my attention because I saw the title, and honestly, like I had no idea what it was about. I read the description, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this later, and then I genuinely forgot about it. So when you mentioned the title, I was like, that sounds so familiar, but I confused it for a completely different movie.
Which movie?
It's that boy who has cancer, or the girl or boy has cancer, and it's one of the twins, the Sprouse twins, Dylan or Cole.
What?
Yeah, they're in a hospital.
The Fault in Our Stars?
No, he's not even in that.
I know he's not, but like I thought maybe you were mixing it with someone else.
No. It's similar vibes to that.
I don't remember. I don't.
You watched it.
Was it new?
You watched it because we talked about it once.
We did?
Yeah. Like maybe like a year ago.
I have never watched a movie with someone with cancer and like.
Okay, maybe he doesn't have cancer. He has some sort of like terminal illness, and then he lives in the hospital. There's two of them. There's a girl and a boy, and then they fall in love.
I've never watched that movie.
Yes, you have, because we like.
When have we ever talked about this?
I feel like we did.
Nah, we didn't talk about this. By the way,
I'll show you it once I remember what it's called.
Yeah.
If you guys know what I'm talking about, like let me know, because I probably will know, and I'll maybe add it somewhere in the description, or like Amir will put the title here once we remember what it is.
But one other thing, Andrew Tate was arrested and he's now in jail. I think he's being held for like 30 days.
That's it?
Huh?
He's being
held in there for 30 days until and then he's
until
gonna
his trial.
Trial, whatever. Yeah, but he was put in there for, I believe it was sex trafficking, and also money laundering and a bunch of other things. I think the main thing was actually money laundering, but also sex trafficking. And I was surprised that like you guys people, women who are supportive of him, and like there are still guys. And I'm talking Muslim women and Muslim men who are in support of him. I wonder what their reactions are now with all this information coming out.
I want to call one of my friends out because I know he's listening.
No, you can't
to
say
this.
names. Yeah,
but I told him, I was like, until, because he's
okay. If he's listening, then so how would you explain the video that literally that came out of him literally explaining how to pimp, but just through cam girls?
I have a question for you.
What?
Because isn't that part of his whole university?
No, that was different. So the videos that he recently leaked,
Yeah,
are videos from his previous course that he had. So before he is the Andrew Tate that you know now, he was the Andrew Tate before that talked about the cam business.
right. But he did that through a course.
Yeah, he did that through a course. So those videos came out through a course, and he got rid of that course and came out with a new Hustlers University course. That's completely separate from that. It has it doesn't deal with the camming. It's more like drop shipping and like crypto trading and all that kind of stuff.
And that's who he is now as he was blowing up.
Yeah, basically. But how he made a majority of his money is through the cam business and money laundering and selling drugs and all that stuff. There are people who thought that he made a lot of his money from fighting, but he made, I think, like $70,000 in total from that. I'm really trying to understand.
Like, he literally made a course on how to do illegal things.
Yeah.
And never got caught?
Well, like, technically, the thing that he was teaching them to do, actually, no, it was illegal.
It is illegal.
Yeah, because have you ever heard of, like, I think it's called, like, the, like, Lover Boy or Romeo, is something like that. The term like that is related to sex trafficking, where basically he'll convince a girl that he loves them, he'll convince a girl that he loves them, and he makes them fall in love with him. They say, I'm gonna marry you. He says, I'm gonna marry you, you just have to fly out to me and I have a ring ready for you or whatever. And then he would do that to multiple girls. He'll fly them out to him and then tell them, hey, so I lied to you this whole time. What you're actually gonna be doing is this cam business. And sometimes basically what would happen is that these girls already have low self-esteems. He would maybe let's say he flew 5 girls out there. This is an actual thing. He flew 5 girls out there.
At the same time?
Yeah, at the same time. All of them thinking that they're going to get married to him and that they're his only girlfriend. They don't know. He flies them out there and he tells them this. He like sits them all down together. He's like, hey guys, I've been lying to all you guys. Like all of you are my girlfriends. What happened?
Nabat's like literally open the door.
Oh, shoot. And we're back, guys.
Andrew Tate. We didn't even say that we were taking a break.
Whatever. It's all good. But what I was saying, okay, so he flew out the girls and he sat them all down and he was able to convince, after a while, there was 2 or 3 girls that were like, nah, we're not having this. They left immediately. And then 2 of the girls, they stayed and they're like, okay, we'll try it out, whatever. And then after a couple weeks, one of the girls left because she's like, I can't do this. And then he was left with one. And then he kind of like started his whole business from this. And I think that girl was maybe like the OG one, the one that was able to convince other girls to come and like stay there basically. And that's how he grew. Yeah, that's how he grew. But like he would continue doing this process, like convincing them that he loves them, say he would marry them, fly them out, and then make them work for him.
When you say make them, like he has their consent, right? Or is he like peer pressuring them?
It's all through false pretenses. So that's also fraud in itself, right? Oh. Because he would convince them that he loves them and he's doing this because he wants her to succeed as well.
But he also lied and said that they would get 50-50, but
that was also another part of it. So that's literal fraud, where he would say, okay, we'll split this 50-50, but then he would actually give them 30% and lie to them and say, hey, there's all this tax stuff, I'll take care of all that tax stuff or whatever. And they wouldn't realize that they would think they were making like $7,000. Yeah. But really they're making $10,000. He was just pocketing $3,000 of it.
That's messed up.
Yeah. And he admitted to this in a video. So everything I'm saying here is not like all what do you call it again? Hearsay. Like he literally
But that's what I'm saying.
Said it.
Right? Like he did he say that on a podcast, or was that part of his like old course? It was
part of his course, yeah.
Yeah, so like how did he not think, like he's admitting to doing illegal
That's why I'm
activity.
like, how can people even still support this guy? Like he's probably the worst criminal out there because he admitted to everything on camera.
Because I think now
and in text,
the reason why he may have some Muslim supporters, men or women, is because the fact that he converted.
No.
But let me explain.
Okay.
Right? Because like when someone converts to Islam and they weren't a Muslim before, it's sort of like a clean slate, right? Like your sins are wiped.
But a lot of the people who who love him or follow him or are fans of him were following before he even converted to Islam.
Right, but did they know about all of this stuff? Didn't this stuff just now become
all this
leaked?
stuff was like rumored from the beginning,
But it was never proven.
it was never proven.
That's why, because right, like,
But would you support someone if they were rumored to be working with if they were rumored to be not implicated, but like even surrounded by like sex traffickers, or not surrounded, there's a word for it, but I'm just forgetting
associated
it right now.
with?
Associated with sex trafficking.
It's a okay. If it was someone who like I really looked up to,
Mm-hmm.
and then this was just a rumor,
Mm-hmm.
like unless there's some sort of evidence, it's just a rumor.
But you know that he had a cam business before this.
Oh, okay. Then no, if they knew that, like if that was something that was public knowledge,
And you know that he had casinos, and there's also rumors of money laundering going on, and he's admitted to, I believe, some money laundering and selling drugs beforehand. So,
but he wasn't doing that. Like
he technically wasn't doing it anymore.
so that's probably
It's
why
come
they
out that
said-
he has continued
but-
the money laundering, but
But that's the thing, right? Like someone could be the worst person in the world. They could be a murderer in their past.
yeah,
If they don't do that anymore, who are we to hold their past against them? And I'm not, in no way am I defending Andrew Tate, okay?
Mhm.
I'm just, it's the principle,
yeah,
right? Like okay, maybe not me. Someone could have, let's not use murder, okay? Because
Yeah.
that's a pretty extreme one. Let's use money laundering.
Mm-hmm.
Someone could have been a money launderer, whatever. They used to sell drugs, and so they need to wash their money, and so they're
Mhm.
laundering money. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever the case is. If they stopped, they cleaned up their act, and now they're a good Muslim brother or sister,
Mm-hmm.
and now they want to be friends with us. You're telling me you'd be like, oh, I heard you used to launder money. I don't want to be associated with you because I can't trust you.
If they don't denounce what they used to do, which I don't believe he ever did.
But he didn't talk about it anymore, did he? He never really spoke about it like that. All of the stuff that came out about
Well,
him.
he wouldn't speak about it because then people will start like digging into his past, and then what happened now will happen, where
Yeah.
he basically was arrested for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you would have to. I feel like you would still have to denounce it in some way, and say like, hey, that lifestyle. But the thing is that like a lot of the tactics he used to gain these women, and the way that he thought of women in general, he continued to preach this over time. So it's not like he changed as a person as well. He was still the same, like, horrible person.
I'm not saying I like him. I'm not defending him. Like I don't really agree with a lot of his points and his opinions. But I'm just saying the reason why I think a lot of Muslim people support him is because of that mentality of like you can't hold people's past against them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you convert to Islam, like your sins are erased. You're a brand new person. Like
Mm-hmm.
think good of your Muslim brothers and sisters. Like that type of vibe. You know.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they're choosing to turn a blind eye to a lot of those things. Now, though, when all of these things have come out about him, I don't know if he even has a platform anymore because he's arrested, but like if he was able to denounce it, to say, you know what, in the past I've made mistakes, I'll do my time for it, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like then, you know, he's denouncing it. You can't really hold him against that stuff anymore.
But he hasn't done that.
Yeah, because he's in jail.
Huh? Well, he could have done that before he went to jail.
But the thing is like it wasn't exposed yet for him to denounce it. He would have to expose himself to be like, you know what, in the past I used to have a course that taught people how to do XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
Then he'd be exposing himself. Then people would investigate, and he would have got arrested sooner, right? Like he probably like I think when the opportunity presented itself where he now is arrested and now has to speak on it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure when he's released from jail, he's probably going to speak on it. You don't think?
Well, he's probably going to be in jail for like, if he's actually convicted, he can face, I think, like 10, 20 years.
Damn.
Yeah. And it's not looking good.
It's a sad day for the Tate community.
Yeah. But you just have like, at this point, I feel like you have no leg to stand on.
Andrew?
Yeah. No, just people who support him in general.
Oh.
Because now it's been proven like a lot of the things that he was preaching were things that he used in order to
get his
do
way.
this sex trafficking or whatever he was taking part in.
You know what I also don't understand, and I asked you this yesterday too, was like he's not even like a conventionally good looking person. Like I don't find him attractive. So like how is he able to
It's the confidence. Confidence is everything. It doesn't matter how good you look or how bad you look. If you're confident,
I don't know, like lady, okay, men and women, can you guys, whoever's listening to this, like truly take a
looks
moment.
don't really matter that much a lot of times.
It does to get your attention. A lot of times looks get someone's attention. It's your personality and your character that keeps people around, that pulls them in and like keeps.
It depends on the environment. Like for me, if I'm in the gym,
Yeah,
looks won't be the first thing.
but you're not at the gym looking for girls.
I know, but like in general, like looks won't be the first thing that catch my attention. It's like how confident they are in the gym, like with their workouts. But that's just like my gym rat coming out. It's like, oh, like they look like they know what they're doing. It's like that would catch my attention.
Yeah, but that's at the gym. Like you're not at the gym 24/7.
Yeah.
Like I'm just thinking like outside of, like not at the gym.
Yeah.
But if you're walking down the street, you're telling me you wouldn't notice like a good looking woman? You would. You'd notice. You may not stare, but you might like notice and they're like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's I think.
But like, if there is a good looking person, but then there's like a person who's like maybe not conventionally attractive, but they're very, I guess, confident. You can kind of like just feel a vibe of someone, like when they're just confident or something. That would probably catch my attention more.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think anyone can have confidence, right? Like Andrew Tate could be. I mean, like confidence is not
maybe
strictly
not
for a
like
good-looking It's not strictly for good-looking people,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like any person can possess the trait of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But Andrew Tate, he's confident.
Yeah.
But he has a shitty personality.
Well, it's also because he's like jacked, like he not jacked, but like he has muscles, he has abs.
So how superficial you think, girl? I mean, they're pretty superficial.
But like also it's the world that he's in, right? Like the people he's dealing with, a lot of them they don't care how you look. It's like if you have money, and he's always talking about his Bugattis.
So then I think the women that he keeps talking about are the women that he has chosen to surround himself with.
Yeah, like
he keeps talking about high value man, low value woman, whatever.
Well, whenever he talks about women, he's talking about like specific.
Yeah, the ones that he chooses to surround himself
in the
with.
manosphere in general. They're usually talking about a very specific type of woman, like the ones that they're usually denouncing, or the ones that they're talking, who they feel like they can use, or they feel like are using men, are very specific type of woman. Like I think there was a podcast. Have you ever heard of Fresh and Fit?
Yeah.
So they had someone on, Destiny, another guy that I follow, or streamer, and they were arguing that they thought that like 40% of women are being flown out to Dubai, and like in general, and he's like that's clearly not happening. Like there's not a girl in the middle of Ohio, like in university, who's being flown out, and they're like, yeah, there are girls in like university and think that who think they can get high value men are like flying out to Dubai, and it's like their idea of what the general woman is like is so skewed.
But that's why,
because they live in a place like Miami.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like whenever I see these clips of Andrew Tate talking about women,
yeah,
I don't get offended because I'm not the person that he's describing. Like type of woman he's describing, that's not me.
Yeah.
Like, yes, is he condescending? 1,000%. Mm-hmm. Is he generalizing? A little bit too much, because I think he has surrounded himself around those types of women.
Yeah.
And he thinks that everyone is like that now, which is like a pretty closed-minded view to have.
Well, a lot of his views are very anecdotal, right? Like they're all based off of anecdotal evidence.
Yeah.
Like his whole like women driving thing, or like the women pilot thing.
I don't think I...
Like how he said that if he saw a woman pilot, like he would immediately jump off the plane.
I saw, and I know he listens to our podcast, but I saw one of our mutual friends, I'll tell you after.
Yeah.
I saw one of our friends make this post that said, like, if he doesn't trust women drivers.
Yeah, see, so like,
and that if he had his way, like he would never get in a car with a woman, and the only time that he does get into a car is if he doesn't have a choice, like if he's traveling or something.
It's because like it's hard as a person to not rely on more anecdotal evidence than actual statistics, right? Because I guess anecdotal evidence you could say is like what we would consider street smarts, if that makes sense. Where like you're like, you know what, because of my own experiences and the experience of people I know, like even though it technically may not statistically make sense that this is the case, like I'm gonna still avoid it, or I'm not. I'm gonna basically avoid it, just because I feel like it's better. What do you call it when it's like, better safe than sorry.
But I feel like a lot of people are like that though. Like if someone has a negative experience, they would rather base their judgment and how they move forward based on their own experience, right? Like even if.
But the issue is preaching that and saying like that is the reality.
Yeah. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, like it's okay to have your own biases and your own prejudices.
Yeah.
But then when you start preaching those to other people and saying like this is the reality, that's when it becomes the issue. It's
the reality for you.
Yeah,
it's not the reality for everybody else though.
Exactly. And that's like the crux of the problem. That's the reason that everybody's so annoyed with what's going on, because like sure, you can have these opinions. Everybody has opinions that not everyone is going to agree with.
Yeah.
But then when you start preaching it and saying this is the only way, or like this will get you further in life or get you where you want to go, that's when it becomes an issue.
Yeah. And I think it's safe to say, and I think a lot of people can agree, that life is obviously not black and white now. Like we can see that it's very gray. There's a lot of space for gray area in life. And so just because something happened to you doesn't mean that that's a matter of fact and that's the way of life for everybody else. Everyone's going to have their own unique individual experiences. That's just how it is. Sometimes people have the same experience and they can relate to that. But that doesn't mean that that's like set in stone fact,
Yeah. So that's why I feel like you have to be very careful with who you choose to follow, or like who you choose to put on a pedestal, if that makes sense. Because like you have to pay attention to what they're saying, and like whenever I'm listening to someone and they're like preaching something, I want the evidence behind it. Like in Islam, like we're not going to just, when you're listening to, they give you the evidence behind it. They tell you like, okay, this is why we think this way, or like when they're teaching, like you're not just going to believe it right away. You have to they give you the evidence behind it so you have something to back it up, right? So when people like Andrew Tate are saying these things, but there's no like evidence or statistical evidence behind it, and that's my biggest issue, is that people say like, oh, statistics don't matter, like they don't really show the reality situation. Sure, like if you have like one study, but if you have multiple studies that confirm something opposite to what someone is saying, but you still continue to go with what he's saying, which is what happened with a lot of the COVID stuff too, but I'm not going to get into that, then that's when I start questioning like your own ability to make judgments, and like I start to look at people differently in that manner, if that makes sense.
You think they lack critical thinking skills?
Yes. I'm going to say, yeah, you lack critical thinking skills.
Because they're going against the grain? And
you can be easily swayed. Like, people sometimes will just go against the grain, or if they see someone saying something that's different, they think that that's good. Like, different can be good, but it's not always good. Yeah, like going back to the Trump thing, like people liked him because he was saying something different. He wasn't following the norms, which can be good, but then when someone's not following the norms, but they're also like preaching something that's completely made up or a false, like it makes no sense, like you have to still be like, okay, he's saying something different, but that's still wrong. Like it's not right.
Yeah, usually when you preach something new or something different than what the general population is used to, you're going to be met with resistance. You have to have proof behind all of your claims, right? Yeah. And then the resistance will ease up a bit, and then that's how you get followers. Yeah. Relating that back to the Prophet.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and at least that's how because I'm always consuming stuff on the internet, and like I'm following different people, but whenever I'm following them, like I filter them. Like I used to follow certain streamers when it came to politics and these type of like social issues. I would listen to someone, but then like if I feel like they're getting too extreme, like I would have to see facts behind it, and like if I feel like they're just like starting to follow one side, if that makes sense, like they're not really on middle anymore, then I'm like, okay, I want to listen to this person, so I'm gonna find someone new, and I kind of like filter who I'm following that way.
Wait, so you don't want them to have a certain opinion? You'd rather
when they have an opinion, like I want to see where they're getting it from. That's the reason I wouldn't fall for someone like Andrew Tate, because like you can clearly tell what he's saying is very anecdotal and it's very extreme. It's very extreme on one end. If someone's extreme in a lot of their opinions, and this is what I'm trying to say, when you can kind of almost predict what someone's going to say before they even say it, or like something happens and you can predict what their thoughts are gonna be on it, then I'm like, okay, then I like, how can I trust what you're gonna say if you're not critically thinking about the situation, like taking it as it is. Like who's a good example? Like Candace Owens. Everyone thought, like, she's a very critical thinker, like she's very different. She's like a black conservative, and you don't see a lot of those, and she's like supporting a lot of the Republicans. But then, like, I think she was on a podcast with Joe Rogan, and she was giving a lot of these facts to back up a lot of things she was saying. But then when he brought up climate change, she immediately was like, oh, that's all a hoax. And he's like, what do you mean that's all a hoax? Like, there's clear evidence that there's some of this stuff is man-made. Like, we're contributing in some way. And she's like, oh, no, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not the thing. And he's like, what did you just do there? And like, he called her out on it. He's like, you were just preaching all these facts and giving me all this information on these other topics we were talking about. And when I mentioned climate change, you immediately gave the talking point that most conservatives would give.
Yeah.
And when he called her out on this, she's like, but like, I don't really care too much about climate change. I don't know much about it or whatever. And he's like, then why would you give your opinion? And that's when you're like, okay, this is someone who's starting to fall for like the one team. Like, they're doing that whole thing where like, oh, like, I'm going to just follow the points of one team. Well,
yeah, she probably has like media training too, right? Like, her publicist probably told her to say.
I don't know if she has a publicist. Like, a lot of these people are like self-made at this point, but maybe she does. But that's when you have to like kind of, I think at that point, that's when even Joe Rogan was like, okay, I don't know if I can trust everything she's saying now, because she just gave me an opinion, and she was very like very hard on this opinion, or like,
you mean stuck, like fixated
on this opinion. And when he called her out on it, she's like, oh, I don't really pay attention to all that. Like, I don't know all the facts or that kind of thing. He's like, why would you give your opinion on something if you don't know all the facts? When you're doing the same thing, like, how can I trust what you're saying now if you're just giving an opinion on something that you don't know about? If that makes sense.
I don't think that not everyone's going to have the facts to everything in life. Like, sometimes people will just have an opinion, like we said before, based on their personal experience, but they don't have any facts to back up. Like, that's just their opinion. Like, that's just their opinion. They're not going to go.
You should not have an opinion if you don't know the facts.
Amir, but that's not how life works.
But like, I can't trust you as a person if you have an opinion on something. Like, if someone else gives you, if you have a trusted person that you follow, and they maybe give you an opinion, you can say, okay, I like, this person said this, so I'm gonna trust that what they said is right. And I'm gonna, like, that's gonna be my opinion now. But like, still at that point, you shouldn't take that opinion and like, especially if you have a following.
Okay, that's different though. But I'm saying, like, I'm talking about the average person, right? Like, not everyone's gonna go and be like, this is my opinion on it. Let me go and do like let me go find hard evidence. Like, not that many people do a lot of research. Like, that's what you do because that's you, right?
Yeah.
But like, not like, I promise you, not that many people will go and research things. Some do because if they're interested in a topic, or they're like, why do I think this way? And they research it, they'll do that. Like, we are those types of people, but I don't think a lot of people are like that, because I've come across people where they have an opinion. I'm like, oh, like, I'm picking their brain. Why do you think this way?
Yeah.
They'll tell me a story of an experience they had.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, but that's not like how it actually is. And then I say my opinion. And I have my opinion for many different reasons. Either I've researched it, or it's from my own experience too. And now we're just two people giving two opinions. But I can't now say to them, well, I don't trust anything you say now because you never presented hard facts to me. I can't say that to them. You can't say that.
Okay, then this is kind of strict to people with audiences who are preaching to other people then.
So you're saying if you have someone,
if you're just an individual person, if you have an influence, then it becomes kind of more.
You're saying like we have a responsibility.
Yeah, you have more of a responsibility.
If we're going to present some sort of opinion, that we have to have a fact behind it, or some sort of research or evidence.
Yeah, you should be able to back it up with something.
So you're saying we actually can't have opinions unless we have some sort of research to back it up? Come on now. We can't. That's not possible. Not all of I never come like I don't always have research to back up my points when I talk to you.
Maybe it's just because of the people I follow.
If it's something that's like, if I tell you, like, if I try to say, Amir, it is a fact that if you, like, if I said, for example, if you wear a mask during COVID, you won't catch COVID. That's a fact. You would be like, how? Give me the proof. Give me that. wholeheartedly, I would never make such a statement like that without evidence, right?
Yeah.
But if it's like, for example, I don't know, I can't think of something that like doesn't require research behind it, but like,
wait, like an opinion or something?
Yeah.
What was your first one? You said like, oh, mask, not wearing mask.
Yeah.
You could say like,
Like,
I
for example,
for a fact know that,
like if you went outside in the winter without a jacket, like you could be like, I just don't get sick, and I'm like, Amir, that's impossible because everyone gets sick when they get cold. But your personal experience could be that you went outside with a jacket and without a jacket.
Well, your opinion in that case would be like, oh, you don't need a jacket to go out in the cold.
Yeah,
you won't get sick.
Yeah,
but that's also would require evidence. I'll be like, but that's also common sense.
But the evidence would be that you went outside without a jacket and you didn't get sick.
I don't know if that works in this case. Does it work? Okay, no, but
because like, but that's the thing, right? Because like, I could go out without a jacket, I get sick. You go out without a jacket, you don't get sick. So now I'm like, well, my experience is that I got sick, you didn't. Yeah. So now we're arguing. Like, if you're about to go out, I'm like, Amir, you should. Like, how many times do we actually have this conversation in real life? We're about to go out. You wear some paper thin jacket.
Oh yeah.
I'm in this big like sleeping bag looking jacket, and I'm like, Amir, go change. You're gonna be cold. You're like, nah, I'm fine. This is a real conversation.
Okay,
guys.
yeah. That is a good example then.
You know what I mean? Like, we've actually had this conversation.
Yeah.
And do you get sick? No. Mashallah, may Allah protect you. Say Ameen.
Ameen. No, but actually, I was about to say, you know what? Actually,
the way you said Ameen sounded so like robotic.
Oh,
like, Ameen.
No, in my head, I was thinking when you said that, I was like, actually, maybe you don't need a jacket outside. Like,
now you're really thinking about it.
Yeah, because like,
because you're thinking back to immune system.
Yeah, have you seen those people like dip in the water? Have you heard of the Wim Hof method and all that kind of stuff? There's
what's
a Wim
that?
Hof like breathing method. There's a guy who's like in the middle of the Arctic who like can run outside naked and like goes into the water and swims around. He like has the longest like underwater record, whatever, something like that. I don't know. Sorry? No, but he has like a method that he can teach to other people within a couple of days to be able to do what he does.
What is it though? Like a breathing
It's like
exercise?
a breathing exercise where like it can like you can train your body because he believes like mind over matter. So
what are you doing? Stabilizing your heart rate or something?
I'm not sure. It's like a very sort of. It's more like stabilizing your breathing. I don't know. There's something he does where basically you can train your body to like not feel the elements. So like you can be in a really, really cold environment, like out with no clothes on, and you'll be fine. And he's like walked up mountains like that.
Naked?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like we've kind of milked that topic for now. Yeah. There's a lot more maybe later.
That was a good conversation though. We got into it.
Yeah. I don't know if the audience will like that. Well, you know what?
They might.
They all can't be hitters, guys. But we have one more thing. Oh shoot, we went on for a while there. We have one more thing.
Should we add that as part of this episode? Because I feel like the ones listening.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Just listen to us chew or just listen to our reaction?
Okay, guys. For you audio listeners, we're going to end the podcast here.
If you want to listen or watch the rest of this episode, head on over to our YouTube channel at Cousin Connection.
Yeah.
So like recorded. Go to our YouTube channel to see the rest of it because we have Philadelphia Cheese, is that the company? The cream cheese company.
They sent us this new cream cheese that's gonna be coming out with. The name is a little problematic for us
as Muslims.
As Muslims,
they called it a little taste of hell. It's basically like a really spicy cream cheese.
It uses the ghost pepper.
Yeah, I believe it has ghost pepper in it.
Yeah, we'll clarify that in the actual video.
Yeah, so if you want to watch us make a deeply regretful decision, just go on over to our YouTube channel because we're not going to make you listen to us chew on a bagel.
Yeah.
So we're going to end the audio here.
Or maybe I will keep it in.
Really?
We'll see. Yeah. You know what?
See what you get. All right.
We'll see what we get, and if you're lucky, you'll hear it at the end of this if we listen to the audio.
Yeah, but we're just going to end it here just in case.
Yeah. And and hopefully we don't die.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on all of our socials, Cousin Connection Pod. I know Amir's biting his lip because he forgot to say all this and he was about to say bye and now he's holding his breath. And on that note, we're going to end it here.
Bye. Oh my God. So what we have here is you can read it out.
Okay. So this is the new cream cheese flavor from Philadelphia, as you guys know, like the biggest cream cheese brand, I think. The details of it is that it's the ghost peppers are measuring at, I don't even know how to read this, but 1,041,427 Scoville heat units, and considered 208 times hotter than jalapenos.
Is that hot?
Yeah. Have you had a jalapeno before?
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
Nah, it won't be that bad. Come on.
Okay, spread it on.
Huh?
Spread it on. No, spread it on one.
Don't even spread it on one.
Let me smell it. Cut the bagel in half and then cut it in half again, and then we'll have the quarter. Amir?
What?
You have a knife.
We don't need to eat the whole piece.
Yeah, you do.
Bite.
No, the challenge is you have to have the whole piece. We're gonna have the quarter. We'll commit to that.
Oh, I just realized we're not even like picking up on the mics.
I
We should
am.
probably have the headphones on.
I
so
told
we can actually
you.
hear ourselves. Okay.
A few moments later.
You want to eat the whole piece or just a bite?
The whole piece.
The whole piece?
Yeah, here.
Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
I mean, it has a little kick to it. Oh.
Mhm.
No.
I can have the whole thing. You know, I'm having
It's
another
like pretty spicy though.
one. Oh yeah, that's starting to kick.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you
No,
laughing?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Nabat, you have to try this now. Come on.
Are we having both pieces?
Huh?
Ooh.
What?
Oh my god, no, it's getting hotter. No, it's getting hotter. It's getting hotter. It's literally
Chill.
getting, no, it's actually.
Told y'all, I'm a G, okay? I can handle it.
Why are you sweating then?
Because it's hot in this room.
No.
You guys made me close the window.
No, it's actually getting hotter now.
Come on.
No, Amir, I'm not joking.
Are you actually?
You don't feel that? My tongue is like throbbing.
It actually tastes pretty good, man. Philadelphia did a thing, man. You are a baby.
No. Give me the normal one. I need like a spoonful of it. Oh my god, it's getting worse. It's actually. It's getting worse. Eat it like that, just plain. Then you'll feel what I feel.
But then the bread helps like suppress it a bit.
I don't like this.
Look, big chunk.
No, I don't like this at all.
Mmm.
You have to have it plain.
What?
Have it plain.
Guys, I'm a G. No problem.
I wish you
Philadelphia,
guys
did
could
your
see.
thing.
Amir's literally sweating right now.
No, I'm sweating. Okay, it's like hot, but like, it's not like.
No,
I'll die.
my mouth is like it's on fire right now.
Oh yeah, that lick I did is kind of like getting me, but it's not like I'm gonna die. Okay.
I'm just good with this plain one. This
We
is
should
my
do the hot ones
favorite.
challenge.
No, because you know I'm gonna fail.
But it's like we'll see how far you get. You'll do better than DJ Khaled. You'll do better than DJ. What?
I'm not okay, Amir.
Oh, you actually not?
No, it's hot.
Oh, my bad. Okay, sorry guys. You know the whole sympathy, empathy thing. I'm not really good at it.
It's getting
My
hotter
nose
and
is running.
hotter.
Sorry. I mean, you just you're fighting it.
Okay, I'm not.
You're sweating so much. I don't think you can realize. I know it's
I'm
burning
looking at myself
you.
in the mirror. Like it is burning, but like it's like when we had Sam's. Like it's like Sam's hot.
No, I feel like Sam's was hotter than this. But like right now, every breath that I take is like hot. Like my breath is hot. I need milk. Look at how he's chugging that milk.
Yeah, because I don't want it to like continue being hot.
Oh my god. Okay, so final reviews.
It's actually pretty good.
In my personal opinion,
Yeah.
this is way too much for like morning breakfast.
No. Like what I did initially, that was good for morning breakfast. What I did last with like putting out my tongue directly, that was kind of like okay.
It's still burning, but I'm okay now. But I feel like now you're like really. Are you okay?
I'm good.
I don't think you are.
I'm not. It's like
I'm here.
it's like burning my tongue.
You're not only are you sweating, you have sweat beads. Like I could see your sweat there for me.
It's hot in this room. Okay.
It's really not. It's cold in here. I can see my breath.
No, you can't.
Are you okay for real?
I'm good. Okay?
I don't know if you are.
Okay, guys. Thank you for watching.
Please.
We'll catch you on the next episode.
The only thing I ask of you is just
What?
like zoom into your face, okay? You don't look okay.
We'll see y'all later.
Bye.